After Saturday's win over the Detroit Pistons, we've got a few quotes from Jason Kidd, Daniel Gafford, and Luka Doncic regarding Saturday's game and just how they're feeling about the team moving forward overall, as well as we do have an injury update ahead of tonight's game against the Chicago Bulls. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavericks Digest, bringing you the latest news and everything Mavericks related. And I apologize if I sound a little sick. I'm coming over a cold, so hopefully the content is still coming to you crystal clear. But let's get into today's video where after Saturday's win over the Detroit Pistons, it was about 124 to 142. The Mavericks walked away with a much-needed dub. Of course, it's the Pistons. What are we really excited for? It's not a team that we'd ever see in the finals, but it is a much-needed win to where we can hang out in that 8th seed a little bit longer, possibly move up to the 7th seed. At the time of this recording, we're still the 8th seed, but those wins do add up, and even if it is a low team like the Pistons or a high team like the Celtics, we need to make sure that we are securing as many dubs as possible, hopefully make it into the 6th seed, possibly 5th seed. But anyway, after Saturday's game, after Saturday's much-needed win, we have a few quotes from some of the people on the team that we're going to break down. With the first one coming in from Jason Kidd, saying, Jason Kidd on the Mavs ball movement, saying that we're sharing the ball. It's not about can you get it, we're talking about getting a better shot. I thought the big thing was the ball touching the paint. That's where we wanted to get to early and on a consistent basis tonight. And I don't necessarily disagree with what Jason Kidd was saying. I checked and both teams had about 56 points in the paint, which is good for us. We also did take a good bit of shots outside the paint, but we did see a lot of those nice lobs to Daniel Gafford down low in the paint. He was just a monster. I think he also broke a record that night for franchise record of consecutive field goals. He had 19 consecutive field goals last night over the last few games, obviously not all in that game Saturday, but he was phenomenal. A lot of other players were getting to the paint, getting their buckets in on the inside. Luka Doncic, of course, Kyrie Irving, of course. So it's good to know that the ball movement is a key emphasis for this Dallas Mavericks team. Getting the ball in the paint is just as necessary as getting those outside shots, which a few players were hitting their shots as well. I'll pull up the box score. PJ Washington was only 1 of 3. Kyrie was 3 of 6. Luka was 4 of 13. Markieff Morris had only 3 minutes in garbage time, but he hit 2 of 2 from 3. Tim Hardaway Jr., who we've seen over the last few games, he just, Tim Hardaway, he's high, he's low, he's up, he's down, he's hot, he's cold. But Saturday's game against the Detroit Pistons, Tim Hardaway Jr. was 4 of 8 from 3, 6 of 13 from the floor. He was definitely getting his shot off. And as you can see, a couple of the guys, their shots were falling, some weren't falling. But it's good to know that the team as a whole is trying to not be so one-dimensional of just shooting threes. We've seen corner threes being missed by PJ Washington and even Josh Green as of late, where the corner three is usually good for Josh Green. I don't know what's happened to him over the past few games. I think he's catching a bit of the Tim Hardaway-itis. I'm not too sure. But instead of just relying on our three-point shot, because we know Luka and Kyrie's going to hit theirs, let's try to get it on the inside. Guys attack the basket. Derrick Jones Jr., he's a high flyer. I'd love to see him attack the basket more. PJ Washington's little hook shot is always money, and he'll always get his rebound. I think he had an offensive rebound the other night. Let's see. He had 0, so maybe I'm thinking of a different game. But, his little hook shot when he's in the paint's always good. Always cash money. You can bet on that. Daniel Gafford, Derrick Lively, we know they can get it in down low. Even Dwight Powell was giving us some minutes as well the other game. So it's good to know that, like I said, on all levels, from the inside to the outside, even the mid-range, it's a good emphasis for this team. We don't want to just rely too heavily on scoring one way. We definitely want a diverse set of scoring skills from a diverse set of players. But another quote that we want to break down is this right here. Daniel Gafford on Jalen Duren's hard foul, saying it was just pretty much a hard foul at the end of the day. It's basketball. I really don't hold it against guys when it comes to them playing physical. Just good to have guys come and have my back in situations. And I love to see it because he's not soft. He's letting it be known. I love it. I welcome the physicality. Daniel Gafford, he's not a true 7-footer. He's about 6'9", 6'10", about 6'10", 6'11". He's floating on that 7-foot range. But Daniel Gafford, he's a big, strong dude. We've seen him get blocks left and right. Love to get those alley-oop lobs from Luka and Kyrie, just banging it down low. And so the other night, Saturday against the Pistons, it was around third, fourth quarter. He did get shoved from Jalen Duren, and PJ Washington wanted to walk up. He was like, hey, man, chill it out. He's checking on his guy. He gives Jalen Duren a light push, which Jalen Duren shoves him. There's a little scuffle going on, and I'm sure if you guys saw it just like how I saw it, you love to see it. We got our enforcer, our Pistons enforcer, PJ Washington. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're wearing that Mavericks jersey, don't touch my mans. Otherwise, PJ going to pull up on you. But Daniel Gafford also had this to say about the interaction. Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington having his back after Jalen Duren's hard foul, saying, any team that I've been on, I always appreciate it because guys always are there for me because at the end of the day, I try to do the same thing for them, and that's great, man. That's that team cohesion. That's that thing that the Mavericks might be missing, just that one player who's going to have your back. The Warriors have Draymond Green. Multiple teams have had that in Pat Beverly. So to have that in PJ Washington, of course, is just one instance. But if we see more of it, if that becomes a habit, I'm all for it. Just having another player step up for these guys. You got Luka and Kyrie never getting calls or any respect from the referees. We got Daniel Gafford and Derrick Lively getting bullied down low. We need a player to just step up and speak up for these guys, to have their backs in times like this. And even if it is just the Detroit Pistons who are lucky to see 12 wins this season, or if it's the Boston Celtics who are the number one team in the East. Doesn't matter who it is. If we have a guy like PJ Washington to just be that backup when things get chippy on the court, just to be that player that say, hey, you're not going to touch my guys like that. That's what we love to see. That's that team cohesion. That's that love that you just love to see from your guys. But we also have another quote that we're going to go over. Luka Doncic feels he's having his best NBA season, saying, yeah, I think it's my best season for sure. I think so, but still got a lot to improve. What can improve? Luka said everything, a lot of things, man. We can improve on everything, and that's the right attitude to have, because even though you're putting up crazy high numbers with a very high usage rate, we reported that in the last video, Luka has the highest usage rate in the league. It is good to know that even though he acknowledges his greatness and just the great season he's having, he's not satisfied. There's more that he needs to improve on. Like he said everything. We know the shooting, the scoring, that's there, the passing's there. Might want to improve that off-ball movement, Luka. Try to get the other guys involved. Maybe your defense, because at the beginning of All-Star break, Luka was like one of the top ISO defenders in the league. The team's defense was one of the highest across the board. It seems like after the All-Star break, the defensive end definitely fell apart. Luka really reverted back to his old way of just complaining to the ref and not getting back on defense, which hurts this team. So maybe he's just being a little bit self-aware that, hey, I could definitely improve, like he said, on everything, when he really means just those necessary important things as a leader to just get these guys ready to go night after night and get the win. But Luka having the best season of his career, I mean, I wouldn't argue that. Luka's averages since the All-Star break, 37.4 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, 1.6 steals, 0.4 blocks, shooting 52% from the floor, 40% from three, and 86% from the free throw line. And that 86% from free throw line, that's better than his career average. I want to say he's like a career 72, 74% from the free throw line. That's incredible. He really has, just from the All-Star break, from when it ended to now, Luka has been playing phenomenal basketball, which earned him the Western Conference Player of the Week for March 4th through the 10th. He averaged 37.7 points, 10.7 assists, 10.3 rebounds, leading the Mavericks to a 2-1 record during that stretch. Shout out to Luka Doncic. If he ain't the MVP, as long as he's the Western Conference Player of the Week, you gotta take what you can get, right? But in a serious note, he is having an MVP caliber season, whether the media and the voters want to give him that respect, whether it's because we're not winning or you think he's a ball hog or he's playing too much ice, whatever your excuse may be, we have to acknowledge the fact that Luka Doncic is a superstar. He's having a crazy, crazy season, his best numbers by far. And the man's only 25, 24? Like, it's incredible. There's so much more that he could be and he could unlock in his career, and he's only getting started, and I'm looking forward to it. But we do have an injury update ahead of today's game against the Chicago Bulls. The only players on the injury report, we got Omax. He's out with the G League along with Brandon Williams, Alex Fudge, and Greg Brown III, which means we're getting our boy Derrick Lively back. No more Dwight Powell in the first half. A little bit less from Maxi Kleber, but knowing Jason Kidd, he probably is going to play more of Maxi, less of Gafford, and you're going to go through it, and I'm going to go through it. We're going to have to deal with it. But it's good to see that Derrick Lively is back. Against the Detroit Pistons, he was listed out for personal reasons, and I tried doing my digging, a little bit of research, try to see what I could find, and I couldn't find any real reason to why Derrick Lively's back. My only guess is, if you know Derrick Lively, and he's very vocal about his story, his upbringing with his family, he lives with his mother, or his mother lives with him, he would say. That he kind of takes care of his mom growing up. She would travel a lot getting treatment for chemo. And so that may be something of that nature. I hope not. I hope everything's good for Derrick Lively and his family. But other than that, I'm not too sure what happened. I hope everything's good. Glad to have the kid back because we're on a roll. We're on a 2-game win streak. Let's make it 3. And thank you guys for making this far into the video. Make sure you subscribe because we're going live tonight in a few hours at the time of this recording. We'll be going live for tonight's game against the Chicago Bulls, so make sure you tune in. I'll give you my live commentary, the play-by-play, and I will reveal the details to our jersey giveaway and how you can join. So make sure you tune in, and until then, y'all take care. Peace.